Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the archived version of the developer commentary run of Mirror's Edge Catalyst that we did as a live stream. This run was done as part of a charity marathon benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. It is presented without ads, and instead I would like to ask that if you enjoyed this content, please consider donating $1 or $2. You can find links that on the video and in the description. Enjoy. What happened to Nomad and Birdman? They seem to disappear mid-story. I assume you had bigger roles planned for them. I don't think we ever did.
Birdman.
Birdman had other stuff, I think. Right?
Yeah, we had more stuff with Birdman, but he wasn't really. He was never meant to be a pivotal character for the story. He was always a side character, somebody who could give you. He was basically a side mission character, and I think we actually planned for the pigeon. What was it called? Pigeons Down was intended to actually be later in the game, so you would come back to him. But then we felt that why not just give you the downtown stuff? To begin with, because downtown isn't that hard to play in anyway. And Nomad, he actually got more of a he was more of a side character early on because he only had the drone works and the break and entry missions. But then we decided to use him for the combat introductions.
He kind of involved in the billboards as well at some point.
He has a line about them, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, he just, and I think that was also a late thing that we used him to
might have been.
Yeah. So the whole thing where Nomad starts introducing you to combat and is the I even think that his part in the mission where you take back the payback mission where you take back the lair is actually was constructed later, so Nomad became more important over the course of development of the game.
We talked a bit earlier about how we at one point changed the structure of the game to remove a reputation system with gating in between missions. When we did that, what happened was there was few holes in the mission structure that we needed to fill with something. And there were some of the missions that slotted into there, like Payback. This is basically a mission that has to be there because otherwise you would never even leave the Black November headquarters in the story.
Yeah, exactly. Is Nomad the tattoo artist? No, the tattoo artist initially was planned to be a more important character in the game. His name is Needle.
Such a cool name.
Yeah, it actually is.
Such a cool character too. I'm like, I wish he had a role more than just.
Yeah, he was probably after Faith the first character that we concepted as well, because he was in the teaser and everything.
Wow, that was a weird section.
Yeah.
Well, I think to speak to the point that Savage is making in chat, that because he's saying that that Nomad feels like a bigger deal because you see him in some clips in some of the trailers and stuff, and I think that happened as well with Birdman, right? They got larger roles in the trailers, and they had some very neat story moments in terms of Faith's backstory and the backstory of Glass and the history of what's happened here. But I think because they were used in trailers, it became a big deal in our mind then.
And they were also used in trailers because they were early in the game, which is the parts that we finished. So they actually had
actually modeled and animated.
Like Beatrix, for instance, who is very much a late game character. She, her model was all over the place for such a long time.
Yeah.
And she had her face didn't stick to her body and all kinds of weird things.
Plastic?
Yeah, she had these classical googly eyes.
Yeah.
yeah, we had like a folder or something. Server with all the
horrible mishappen.
the mutant people of glass.
Yeah.
This is such a cool section. I remember
Yeah.
this entrance into. It's called Kingdom, right? Kingdom.
Yeah.
Being one of the first areas I saw in terms of being more done with the lighting and the color leading you through, and a lot of the really intimidating shapes, and just being super like awe-inspired to build the rest of the game after seeing this, just how cool it could be.
There's a lot of stuff here that was... it's kind of late because we had this place that was supposed to be this horrible, you know, experimental lab place, but it was basically empty.
Yeah.
So a lot of this stuff was added pretty late.
Yeah. They do.
Anyway.
There's some fun and horrible conversations you can listen to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you stick around here for a while.
We got a visual on stage. You there, submit.
Take him out, or run past him, or die.
Or die too, yeah.
So yeah, okay. What about the E3 2013 gameplay footage? That was that was built based on the planned, basically based on the script and the plans we had for the game, but it wasn't ever playable. But
There was stuff that was playable back then, though, right? Like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah, sure,
There was
yeah.
like the combat demo, and there was like
Yeah.
a movement.
No, we had tons of playable stuff, but nothing that basically was visually finished. So that's that's why we had the game playable really early, parts of it, you know, and setting the structure up and all those things. But there was basically, we played for a very long time in a white boxed world, just, you know, boxes of stuff.
That was a pretty cool moment, seeing that at E3 and everyone just being blown away that it was back. That Mirror's Edge was back.
That was cool.
It was super special. I was at E3, basically hitched a ride with the Battlefield 4 guy. Yeah, you were there as well, right, Linnea? Or?
Not at E3, no. I think Fabian was. He was playing on stage. Yeah, on stage
Yeah.
with the other folks.
So I was too, but really was mainly there for so I could see and hear the reaction to the.
How was it to be there in person?
Well, it was very emotional because the roar from the people when they saw the ME teaser was just the loudest sound ever.
And that's something pretty neat too, because I think a lot of people don't realize that, I mean, obviously, but you never think about it. The people in the audience are journalists,
Yeah.
right? Like, that's not normal gamers. That's like industry journalists. So when they see stuff coming up on screen, usually they're like, all right, cool, I'll tweet about it. Or they'll type notes in, but when they actually get hyped about something, that's usually sits close to the heart.
Yeah.
There's also like those demos. I mean, they are just demos and stuff, but the effort that goes into those things is it's enormous.
Yeah.
The amount of work that gets put into those demos.
Yeah.
It's hard
I don't
to
think.
even have an overview of it.
No, I think they're like entire games in and of themselves in terms of the amount of effort that goes in
Yeah.
Probably,
to
yeah.
plenty of those demos. Not all, but many.
Absolutely.
Everyone remembers where they were during the E3 2013 demo.
I'll help you as soon as I'm out of here.
I love how Faith's reaction to everything is just put put a hand on top of it, and then it's like the interaction with any electronical device.
Yep. That was also an intentional thing.
Yep.
But it's still
funny.
I always felt like we needed an effect or some sort of better like animation on the screen to kind of illustrate the fiction of it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
We have effects in some places. But
No,
not all.
it's just I think that screen is like one of the least consistent areas.
Probably.
Yeah. It was really tough to decide on how to make it look.
Oh wait, wrong way.
That rudder girl control. We got her. That rudder girl control. We got her right here.
Love these corridors.
Yeah.
And you can see Noah on the.
Where is she? Answer me.
On the way in. And
I understand your frustration.
an evil Kruger.
What are the chances we'll see more in-development footage of the game in the future?
Where is the blueprint?
In-development stuff, I don't know. It's unlikely, I would say, but you'd have to ask somebody who's still at DICE.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we the whole of EA had this drive in 2014 where we showed in development stuff at E3, but it basically didn't really pay off because people, even ordinary players, want to see finished-looking stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of players got quite frustrated. They're like, "That's nice and all, but can I jump on it?"
Yeah.
It's yeah, and that's people complain that you make fake demos and that it's not like that stuff isn't what it's going to be when you're done. But that's why.
No.
Yeah, because that's what people want to see, and if you don't show that, the reaction can be quite negative.
I guess the problem is the way you develop a game isn't from like the first minute to the last minute. It's all over the game, and it gets a little bit better over time. But if you look at any game like a year before it's shipped, it looks absolutely terrible. It looks unplayable, and nobody would ever want this shit. What is this?
I'd actually argue like 4 months before a game ships.
That probably depends on the game, but yes.
True. But I feel like, you know, there's a lot of like elements that are developed behind the scenes, like not in engine, or like in terms of the concept of the lighting or the audio, where like the final passes come in very late, and like the final animations, the audio, the lighting, usually a lot of like polish on materials comes in very late. And so I mean, in terms of the playability, that's always quite gradual, I would say. I mean, a lot of pieces fit together at the end and make more sense, but the way it...
I think the playability is usually pretty good, but or at least gets better. But in terms of showing it to somebody who isn't like a game developer themselves, it's very hard, even for trained game developers, to imagine what it's going to be without that final polish, without the looks, because like it's people don't want to say it, but games get better from being pretty.
And if there's one thing that I actually would, for people that want to see in development stuff from Mirror's Edge Catalyst, I would actually recommend the art book.
The lighting one, or...
Oh, now everybody's breaking up. Can you still hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, but the Mirror's Edge Catalyst art book is actually really good and shows a lot of the stuff we worked with during development, which is basically how I at least kept track of what's the city actually going to look like when it's not white boxed. You know, because we.
What about Noah?
Yeah, and there's a lot of character development and like look dev stuff that probably never made it into the game, but still helped set the tone and inspire us
Exactly.
when we were creating the final product. because I remember quite vividly when not the view. It was the section before the view. That's super fancy. What's it called?
Anchor?
Anchor, right? Yeah. When Anchor, like, all of a sudden, got this like art update where everything started looking really awesome with the neon lights everywhere.
Oh yeah.
That was super cool because up until that point, it looked much more similar to Downtown, I'd say.
Yeah. And when I say Anchor, I'm of course calling it because the whole thing is called Anchor in dev terms, but for the game it's actually not.
Right.
It's called
split
Ship.
into, like,
It's in 3 parts. It's Eden Village, Shimmering Heights, and
Crystal something?
What happened to you?
yeah.
about-
We were moving your sister
Yeah.
topside when all hell broke loose.
It is
Yeah.
referred to as Anchor in the VO as well, though.
Just let me go.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You new
Yeah.
friends seem to think it's
Yeah, we need people need to donate more.
Sounds like it. Come on.
Yeah,
Safe for now.
I'm done dying, so don't count on me.
Thinking sending those goddamn beacons here. What's to stop Krugerset from raiding us?
I am telling you, the signal can't reach this deep.
Well, it certainly reached her sister as soon as we got topside. Krugerset were on us within minutes. And I lost good people.
You're
Is
not
there
the only
anyone
one.
still on the Catalyst team, though?
You were never
That's a
gonna give me
good
those
question.
blueprints, were you?
I assume.
Well,
I mean, you'd have to talk to the people that are actually at DICE.
Yeah.
Mark my word.
Yeah.
None of us are at
Their
DICE
lofty
right now,
towers will
so
not protect them.
So we don't know.
no, I don't know.
Until reflection is destroyed, we're prisoners here. I may have a way, but I need that.
Will your death money go towards the
Go to my
teleport
fantastic.
glitch?
She has it.
You guys are never gonna make it without it, so let's say that.
Aw,
Use the
such a
We are.
benevolent
What about you?
streamer.
We should get going. Come on, doctor.
You still have a ways to go, though. I mean, don't count on me dying, 50 more times or something. That's not gonna happen.
Hey, kid, take it easy with that. Don't you recognize me? Boy. Please.
If there's anybody left from earlier when we talked about the
The guns.
the guns and the guy getting shot with his birthmark. I don't think we even. Yeah, you can see the birthmark here, and that's basically she shoots the guy that saved her earlier, but it's not super obvious unless you really know about
You
it.
have to really follow. I mean, it's quite a
Yeah.
long time between those two. The
Yeah.
two glimpses you get out of him.
Which is kind of also another interesting thing because we still think and write stories for games in a typical 3-act or 5-act structure or something like that. Like lots of movies and TV shows are being written, but the time frames in games are usually 5 to 15 or 80 hours. So
Yeah, not at all uncommonly with breaks in between and stuff.
Yeah. So it's actually really hard to tell stories with with lots of characters.
When does the last metagrid unlock? Should be soon.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah.
It's apparently
is it
not yet.
There's still a huge elevator pipes puzzle in the shard, so the teleport glitch will be completely funded by them. Oh.
Or it can just bounce off a wall. Never had that much problems with the shard, though. I guess I'll eat those words.
Yes.
Also haven't played the shard that much after, 6 hours of constant streaming this and then 4 hours of Rocket League before that. What? Alright, yeah, I can do the grid node, the warp. That's a thing that we realized when we were putting that together, that it would be easy to abuse, but we accepted that. For those who don't know how that works, you can replay missions, and if you replay a mission, when you start out, you're not actually on the mission. Well, you are on the mission, but you start like outside the mission area, which means that you can just turn around and walk out of there. And which means that you can just walk away, and what that does is just cancel the mission for you. So, of course, I could have just started the grid node replay here, and then walked away from it, canceling the mission, and then I would have been closer to this place.
You gonna break my legs now?
Where's the fun in that?
Might as well get it over with.
You should finish what you started. Then I can have your legs broken, if you want.
There's nothing to finish! Noah is dead! My mom worked on Reflection, and now my
If you guys
sister
could have
works for
added
Kruger.
one thing to this
I'm the
game,
odd
what
one
would
out.
you have
And the
added?
employees are embracing Reflection as if it were a long-lost friend.
Oh.
A new world is coming. There will be no room.
I don't know,
I think
actually,
basically where I ran out of time when I was patching this was pretty much at the replay mission button.
On the contrary, I heard we can.
It's one of the most glaring omissions
I had a
that I
little
wish
chat with your friend
that would be in there.
Fascinating girl. She
Yeah.
told me we need Kruger's own grid print to proceed.
Yeah, I would have
that's
loved
pretty
more a few more side missions, but it's
I happen to know that
that's
Kruger maintains a
what I
private apartment in the
what I
view,
wanted.
where you can access the entire Kruger family network.
I think I would have
Break
gone
into Kruger's
for
private apartment? There's
like-
no way I'd get past security.
like a full
I'm sad to see I was wrong
character
about you.
of
You can see yourself out.
like full character Ghost instead of the Echo for the time trials
Wait,
of
what?
like your friends.
That's it?
times.
is there?
Mm.
So like 1 or 2 friends, and you could actually see them as runners in the world,
That would
right
be cool.
next to you or in front of you. I think that would have been super cool.
Mm.
But then
Oh.
I'd be making a game for me and not for everyone else.
Always knew a young woman.
Here's somebody who says you can actually go into Dogen's room with free cam, and I think that's because we actually intended the room to be part of the playable area.
Yes,
first.
you were actually in here
Don't show
a couple of
yourself.
times
Yeah.
at one point, because he had a side mission, and that was cut
That's what
fairly
you-
Oh
early
yeah,
on.
yeah, that's true. That's the one
Uh,
side mission that was cut.
Why are you still
So
here?
Little Girl Lost, was that the one?
Yeah.
So there was a side mission here that Dogen started, which meant that because side missions don't have the full video cutscenes, you had to go in here and talk to him. So he was there, and the room was there. But then,
Yeah.
since the side mission was removed, there was no reason to ever open the door.
No. What's the actual significance of the painting Faith's tattoo? I'm gonna leave that a secret and a mystery, because if the game gets a sequel, somebody might want to go into that there.
I agree, though. Both the writing and the voice acting for Dogen is really, really good.
Yeah, it's. I just
Got all that practice on Iron Chef.
I'm not
I
sure.
wanted him once to say like "I like cuisine" and then like chop a carrot or something in the game.
I'm not sure. Wait, let's see here.
Apartment is even harder to get into than the docks. There's only the helipad on top and the main entrance below. And diverting the VTOL
Isn't
like
there a way
last
out
time
here
won't
yet?
work. They've changed their comm protocols.
I think there was a really
and
cool moment for the developers when
Oh.
internally we showed the cutscene where Faith walks in and confronts Dogen for the first time in a studio-wide meeting
Yep.
with people from other development teams, and like the other development teams, we all sit in the same studio, but we get quite a lot of blinders on when we're working on our game and in crunch. So like everyone working on BF4 and then Star Wars were quite focused on their game. So when they saw the clip of Dogen, all of a sudden they were like, shit, this is a really cool game. And I think that's when a lot of them got quite interested and came poking around like, hey, well, can I play this? What's going on in here?
Nice. Here, don't stop and look at the donations just right now.
Oh shit, all the guards are coming out.
I just stepped out of the door right behind me and started punching me as I was looking at my second screen. Okay.
Oh man, and he's floating in midair.
That was an interesting one too.
Yeah.
Disrupted him into flying.